You know, if you abide by all the immigration laws, that'll give you real affordability. Here's President Trump on that matter. It just seems to me, in general, writ large, if you abide by the immigration laws, stop all this sanctuary city business, that's the most affordable thing possible. You save, I mean, I look at what's happened in New York, okay? What Mayor Adams had to spend, he spent a fortune on, you know, $10, $12 billion, maybe $15 billion, because he was giving money away to illegals, many of whom were criminal illegals. I mean, it seems to me, if those laws are upheld, if sanctuary cities, for example, are defunded, as you have talked about, Lindsey Graham has talked about, that's an affordability issue. There are huge savings there, and you can go after the waste, fraud, and abuse. So
Lindsey Graham is really hot on getting rid of sanctuary cities. I'm backing him 100%. We got to do it. We're hot, and it's sort of the Security Act, you could call it, but we have to do it. You know, sanctuary cities are only good for people. It's sanctuary for criminals, okay? They are protecting criminals. Those states could hand those people over to us. Their crime would go down. We'd get them out of the country. They can't do what we can do. We can get them out of the country. They can't do it. But they're sanctuaries for criminals. They have they have killers. They have drug lords. They have Tren de Aragua all over the place. Now, with that being said, we have the strongest border in the history of our country. We have Democrat people giving us the statistics that no people have come into our country illegally in the last 8 months. Even I can't believe that totally, but I'll take it. But essentially, no people have come in. Nobody's coming through our border. They only come in legally. We've done an unbelievable job. I don't think we've given any credit. One of the problems that I find in politics, so I got elected to a large extent on the border. I've done such a good job on the border that nobody wants to talk about it anymore. Like when I mentioned border, sir, they don't want to hear about it. You solved that problem. I don't get any credit for anything. I mean, I do these things. You would say I've done a great job at the border, right? Nobody coming in. We have a strong border. Drugs are way down. You know, by knocking out those boats, we have dropped drugs, fentanyl, about 33%. And now we're going to start on land. We had to do the boats first because they would go immediately to the boats. If you hit them on land, they go to the boats. So we do the boats first. Now there are no boats. Now we're going to hit them on land. We're going to hit them very hard on land. We've knocked down drugs. Every one of those boats, it's nasty, but every one of those boats that shot down in the seas, you've been watching it, we saved 25,000 American lives. So we've done a great job. The problem is that I'm not sure that people see it. Maybe we have a public relations problem because I don't know that we get it out the way it should, because I don't think anybody has had a more successful first year as a president than I have, with all of the things we did. And then in the previous administration, my first term, I rebuilt the military. And that's why we had Venezuela, tremendous success. As you know, we have a massive flotilla right now going over to Iran. We'll see what happens. I think they want to make a deal. I think they'd be foolish if they didn't. We took out their nuclear power last time, and we'll have to see if we take out more this time.
Do you think a deal with Iran, with this current regime, would ever really stick?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I know one thing. They want to make a deal. They wouldn't talk to anybody else, but they're talking to me. But, you know, it's a good question. A lot of people say no. And I would say that I'd rather make a deal. It's got to be a good deal. No nuclear weapons, no missiles, no this, no that, all the different things that you want. But some people worry that they've been very dishonest with us over the years, right? Very dishonest. Obama and Biden, what they did in terms of creating a monster with Iran was terrible. That Iran nuclear deal was one of the dumbest deals I've ever seen.
So you've been very generous with your time. Just last question. Can you beat history on these midterm elections? Yeah. Carry the House and the Senate for the GOP. Can you do it on the economy? Do you need more communication? Do you need more marketing? Do you need more help? I mean, the numbers are on your side. The question is, does the public know this?
Well, you know, we have a fake news that doesn't get the word out. That's why I love doing an interview. We get the word out. Mm-hmm. But so you ask a question. In 50 years, a president that's won even a popular president, somebody that's done well. I'm popular and I've done well. I mean, I think we have the greatest economy actually ever in history. We broke 50 and we broke 7,000. They said I wouldn't do that for 4 years, and I did it in 1 year. We have to get the word out, okay? If we can get the word out, we should win. The problem is that historically, 2 times the presidents won in 50 years, 2 times. I don't know what that is. There's something down deep, psychological. And some of them were good presidents, and they still lost. They lost. When a president wins, Republican or Democrat, they lose the midterms. We're going to change that, I hope. We're trying very hard. We're going to change it. We inherited a country that was going to die. We had a dead country. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. That's said by everybody. We have the hottest country in the world. I guess I have to sell that because we should win in a landslide, and we'll do everything we can to do it.
Thank you for your time,
Thank
Mr.
you, Larry,
President.
very
You're
much.
most gracious.
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Most gracious. Yes, he was. On message and most gracious. I'll be back.